Today our guest is one of our newer friends here at Melissa's, Chef Geraldine. Gilliland, sorry, Irish. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But anyway, I know you guys are all hungry. We're excited to have her here. She also has what I believe is now a couple restaurants internationally as well. You have one in...
No, just two in Santa Monica.
Oh, two in Santa Monica. I'm sorry. I misread that. So you're going to hear a lot more about her today at the presentation, but we're going to have Chef go ahead and introduce the menu for the new book. The book is called the Lula Cocina Cookbook. So
good to see all of you. My goodness, what an honor to be here. I'll tell you the story a little bit later, how I'm standing here today, but the book is, the recipes are from Mexico to Malibu, and I live in Malibu, and some of the recipes were devised when I was just moving into the ranch up there and growing lots of fruits and vegetables. But I'll tell you what we're serving today, and then I'll tell you the history a little bit later. This is guacamole. It is with a roasted poblano chili, blistered poblano, not raw, jalapeno, sorry, not raw. So it's got a little bit of sweetness to it. And this is a crab salpicon tostada. So the tostadas are set up here with guacamole, cabbage, onion, tomato, and then you would put it's a pickled crab on top. The salad is a vegan arugula kale with quinoa and lentils. It's got an agave vinaigrette, and it has red bell peppers and little tostadas on top, and it's made with lime. And it also has little heirloom tomatoes in there. In this, this is one of my favorite dishes at the restaurant. It's a beef poblano chili, so a poblano roasted chili, not fried, but roasted and peeled, and then stuffed with a picadillo of beef, which is, a picadillo is like a ground beef hash with olives, raisins, onions, garlic, almonds, etc. And it comes with a roasted tomato sauce, and you can put crema mexicana or sour cream on there. The fajitas are beef today, so you can just mix your own taco with the tortillas here. And then there's more pico de gallo for the fajitas and more guacamole. You can never get enough guacamole, right? And then dessert is a surprise. There's actually 3 desserts today, but yeah. So
and
oh yes, the chia limeade. So this is made with chia seeds, and it's instead of lemonade, we serve this at the restaurant. And 28 years ago, when I opened Lula, everybody thought there were bugs in their limeade. And nobody had ever heard of chia seeds. And I almost took it off the menu because it was just so problematic. But now chia limeade, you can get chia seeds everywhere. And Costco, Melissa's has the top quality chia seeds. And it's just a lovely, refreshing drink with ice. You can put a little tequila in it if you wanted to make a light margarita, I think. But not here.
All right. Yeah. Welcome, everyone. How did everybody enjoy that lunch today? I thought it was awesome. Just couldn't get enough of the desserts. But don't worry.
The flan.
There's a special flan at the end there. So for those who didn't get the flan, make sure you get there this time. So let me introduce our guest today, and one of our Melissa's newest friends, as she's been coming to some of our events in the last year. Geraldine Gilliland. She's a renowned chef, author, restaurateur, and philanthropist. She arrived in LA from Northern Ireland in 1975, beginning her extraordinary career in the culinary industry. Geraldine has studied and worked with distinguished chefs from around the world. Her culinary experiences compass an international diversity, including Mexico, Indian, Chinese, French, and of course, contemporary Californian and Irish. Geraldine has been featured in the LA Times, Fine Cooking Magazine, Bon Appetit, New York Times, the whole gamut, Gourmet, LA Weekly, and more. Her first book, which I just found out about, There we go. This is her first book.
It was nominated for a James Beard.
Yes. Grills and Greens was nominated for James Beard, and she has been a guest chef for the famous James Beard House in New York, which she happens to supply the produce for. Let's see here. She's also done some of her culinary adventures on the Sea Goddess cruise ship, the Ahwahnee Hotel. You guys been in the Ahwahnee in Yosemite? That is the place in Yosemite National Park. And several wineries in Paso Robles. Today she owns 2 distinctly different restaurants on Main Street. Oh, both are in Santa Monica. Lula, Cocina, Mexicana, which is the book that you guys all received today, was based off. And this is a new print. Is this the second or third printing of this book? This is the third printing of that book. And I think it turned out beautifully. And if you've never been to Lula, Cocina, Mexicana, it's a bold, bright, and colorful cantina famous for her eclectic menu and signature Lula margaritas. Definitely got to find your way over that. But she also has Finn McCool's Irish Pub, brought over from Ireland through the Panama Canal in 2001. So there's 2 places now to go on Main Street there in Santa Monica. In 1985, Geraldine and her late husband Theodore built their dream home, Rancho Cocina, nestled in the high Malibu mountains. And I'm going to go ahead and have her give you her background there and what her supporting efforts from the news book that has been reprinted. And we're going to see a video at the end of her presentation about her work in dog rescue and stuff like that. Our guest today and our friend, chef, restaurateur, and everything above, Geraldine Gilliland.
Well, as I said earlier, it is such an honor to be here, and it took almost a year for me to be here today. Robert was introduced to me by Faye and Yakir Levy. They came to a tasting at my restaurant, and she recommended me for a class. And Robert said, well, you know, we need like 36 books. And I said, I don't have 36 books. I'm self-published. Big mistake. But I self-published. The books were so expensive. He said, no, you have to meet this lady in Texas, Martha Hawkins.
Yes.
Took a while, but Martha arranged the hardback copy. So this is the third printing. The first printing was softback. The second printing had a sleeve on it. And this is the final printing, and I have lots and lots of them. So without Robert and Faye, I wouldn't have the book today. And I'll tell you a bit of a story about the book. I'm not from a family of chefs. I came from a very West Belfast home my dad was a corner shop butcher, and so there was no gourmet food in Ireland in the 60s and 70s. So when I came to America and I discovered, for instance, chilies, we did not have even zucchini at home, or eggplant, or cilantro, or anything like that. So it was like amazing to me. And I came in 1975 for a summer holiday, and I just didn't go home. That was it. So I've been here ever since. I've owned 6 restaurants, and now I have the Mexican restaurant and the Irish pub, which I did bring over from Ireland in 2001. I guess the Lula story, it's in the book, but I was flipping through Bon Appetit magazine, and it was 1983, and there was an article by the former editor of Bon Appetit before Barbara Fairchild. I can't remember her name right now. She passed on.
Mary Lou Vaughn?
No, but it'll come to me. But anyway, I called her up on the phone. It was an article about all these amazing women in Mexico City called the Circulo, and they were teaching young women how to cook. They were very wealthy women. One of them was Patricia Quintana, who's written many cookbooks. So of all the ladies, I asked, Jan Weimer was her name. And I asked Jan, who should I study with? And she said, not even a hesitation, Lula. So I'm on the phone with my pastry chef who's Mexican, and I'm trying to speak what I call Spanglish. And I'm like, hola, senora. And she goes, hello, how are you? You know, perfect English. It was, so the next thing I was done in Mexico City, and I had never been to Mexico before, except a beach time. So she took me under her wing and took me everywhere, in restaurants, cooking classes, Patricia Quintana, a private class at her house, and all the markets, and I went crazy. So I went back to America, got my husband, went back down to Mexico, and about a year later, we opened Lula. And it's named for her because she was what I call my madrina, my Mexican godmother. So we are still, so fast forward, that was 28 years ago. Fast forward, Lula's going to be 83 this year. She and I still talk. She was able to come and visit me 2 years ago for the 25th anniversary of the restaurant, 3 years ago actually. So she was able to come. We had a big charity fundraiser at my house in Malibu for my dog rescue, which I'll tell you in a minute. But many of the recipes in the book are her inspiration. And some of them I don't serve at the restaurant because she calls it La Nueva Cocina Mexicana. So it's the new Mexican cuisine. So for instance, the little crab tostada today, it's a salpicon. It's her recipe. We served it on one of the special Day of the Dead dinners. She would come up every year and we would cook in the kitchen. And it's a crab vinaigrette on top of the tortilla with the guacamole. At the restaurant, we use calamari for it. And so the recipe for the calamari is also in the book because crab is super expensive and my restaurant is like moderately priced, so the crab is a little bit prohibitive. So we became lifelong friends because of that. So the recipe says from Mexico, the book cover says from Mexico to Malibu. The Malibu thing, I guess, would be the vegan kale, arugula, quinoa salad. I'm going to show you that today. Since I do a lot of rescue work, I work with a lot of ethical vegans, and I work in particular with beagle rescue. And I work with beagle rescue that gets beagles out of laboratories because we still test on animals in this day and age in America. So the little salad was for one of the big events I did for 250 people where I had to do an entire vegan menu. Nice. And so this got in the book. Also at the end of the book, there's a vegan chocolate coconut truffle recipe that is beyond to die for. And Victor Budnick, who is my photographer over here in the plaid, he took the photographs. This is the most amazing photograph in the whole book, I think, with the vegan chocolate truffle in the coconut. Amazing. So anyway, I've had Lula for, it'll be 28 years in July. I also brought the bar over. I'm from the north of Ireland. My stepfather owned a bar. When he passed, we decided his name was Flynn, so I called it Finn McCool's here, the restaurant here, the pub. And Finn McCool's is an Irish legendary giant of Irish mythology. So Finns, Flynn's, you know. And recently, as you know, we had, on November 8th, we had the fire, the Woolsey fire. And it swept through Malibu, it swept through Agora, and I had just done my grand opening for my new rescue in Agora, which will be, you'll see the video. It's only 3 minutes, I think. So, fast forward, I was evacuated with 23 dogs in a van and slept in the restaurant patio the first night. The next 7 days, some lady who got married at my restaurant in 1995, she offered me her backyard, so we slept in her backyard with the 23 dogs, and she didn't even have a dog. So, like she is my angel, my new best friend. And then we went up to a ranch in Lompoc. So after the fire burned down part of the new sanctuary, I decided that I was going to give up something, and I decided to sell Finn McCool's. And I sold it. We're still open as Finn McCool's. we will probably close the escrow in the next 2 weeks. So if you want to come down to Main Street, it's 4 doors down from Lula, so you could always pop your head in. I'm taking my chef with me over to Lula. He has been with me since 1984, since my first restaurant on Main Street, Gilliland. So I'm taking Chef Hector with me, and we will have a lot of really new and improved recipes in Lula. So that's that story. I'm amazed at, I just want to say a shout out to the team here. Amazing team, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they did this.